Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to Scratch Golf Academy. If you're a beginner golfer, more likely than not, you're going to want to try to hit the driver as soon as possible because it's a lot of fun. You can hit it really far, all that good stuff. But you have to make sure you have proper technique, which is going to allow you to maximize distance with not that much effort. So let's get into it. So talking about the driver, we're going to go through how to hit a driver if you're a beginner golfer. So in terms of tee height, we're going to just start from the ground up. In terms of tee height, I'm in turf right now, so it's going to be a little bit harder to see, but you want about half of the golf ball to be above the top of the driver. So if this is the top of the driver here, right, we want about half of the golf ball to be peeking up on top of that, because the driver is the one club in our golf bag where we actually hit up on it. It's going to require a little bit different of a swing, and our swing path is coming up instead of with an iron. We're actually hitting down on the golf ball for it to come up in the air. So we have to make sure the tee height is set properly. Next, let's talk about setup. So I'm gonna face you guys for a second so that way I can kind of go through this setup talk here, and that way you can see exactly what's going on. So in terms of setup, you're gonna want a wide base. Now I like a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. In terms of where your toes are going, flare them out to the side just slightly. This is gonna allow us to turn around our body a lot easier. If we're narrow and our toes are pointed straight or even in, it makes it really hard for us to turn. So go wide, flare the feet out just a touch. That's a good wide base that we're gonna go with. Next, in terms of ball position, we want the ball to be placed inside our front heel. So if I were to put this club on the ground, that ball is going to line exactly up with my front heel. Now, in terms of after we have a wide base, how are we positioning our body when we set up to the golf ball? Like I said, the driver is the only club in the bag where we're actually hitting up on it, right? So we need to position our body in a good starting position to allow us to hit up on it correctly. So we're setting up here, sort of like a normal shot. I want you to feel a little bit more weight on your back side to start, your back leg. And then what you're gonna do is slide your back hand, if you put it down across your side like this, slide it down until it reaches about your knee. You see how now my shoulders tilt and my whole spine tilts in this sort of direction? That is a good setup position. It's tilting our shoulders up. We've kind of created a backwards K looking figure in terms of setup. So that is what is going to help us now hit up on the golf ball, right? And I see a lot of people, they'll go really far like this. You don't want to get too far tilted, just slightly tilted. And our goal is going to be to try to hold this position for as long as we can in the golf swing. So now that we've got that whole setup thing dialed in, let's talk about the actual swing part, the fun stuff. So we have our ball teed up here. And when we swing the driver, like I said, you want about, say, like a little bit more than half your weight on your back leg to start. You have this tilted position. Now, when you take the club back, you should really feel like your back leg is loaded up. It's got some weight on there, because we're going to use this weight to transfer and rotate to give us a lot of speed and power through the golf swing. So we're loaded up here about a little more than half on this back leg. Now when we take the club back, I don't want you to feel like you're changing your body position really at all. We are in a great setup position here. Now take it back, and I want you to try to maintain that position. Maybe you'll feel a little bit more weight here, but I want you to slide back here. You have a good setup position. Try to maintain that on the way to the top and leave it there. Now once we're at the top of the swing, now we're going to use all this weight here, push off the ground. We're pushing a little bit as our body is staying in that position, and then we start to turn over our front hip. It's just turning, and then our left leg begins to straighten, and then we can go into a follow through. So if I were to make a swing here, just a practice swing, we're in a good position here, set up great, bring it to the top, push and over. And when you come and follow through, a lot of your weight should be on your front heel. You should feel that weight transfer from your back leg to the front leg pretty instantly. So let's hit a shot here. Good setup position, check that, right? Hit that pretty decently. The big thing here is if you're feeling a proper weight shift, you shouldn't have to feel like you're swinging out of your shoes really at all. You're gonna let the club do the work, maintain a smooth tempo, which is gonna help you stay controlled, right? So you're staying controlled here, and then you're pushing off the ground, turning through. One more. Here we go. Hit that one pretty nicely as well. The other big thing I want to mention real quick is in the backswing and the position at the top. I see so many people really overswing like this in the position they get at the top of the swing. You see how your back elbow flares up like this, then you come crazy around the golf ball, and it's nothing good. So what I want you to feel is your front arm stays straight, your back arm stays tucked, and however far back you can take it while maintaining that position, that's how far you're going to take it. Don't overdo it at all. You'll run into a lot of problems, a lot of inconsistencies. Hopefully that broke down the driver swing, especially if you're a beginner. Go give those tips a try. Subscribe to Scratch Golf, subscribe to me over on That Golf Grind, and I'll see you guys out here real soon.